film, and this place were playing in this diary. Okay, it made as a play. It was playing in different places of Germany. And what was the reaction of the people? Simultaneously, no one knew how the audience would react. The drama progressed through its 8 brief scenes. No Nazi were seen on the stage, but their ominous presence made itself felt every minute. So actually characters, they were not coming as Nazi people in that drama, in that play, but background, their presence was throughout this play. Finally, at the end, Nazi jackboots were heard storming upstairs to raid the hiding place. At the close of the epilogue means in dramas, just before the climax, one speech will be there. So that is epilogue. In that epilogue, Anne's father was on the stage. A lonely old man. Quietly he told how he received news that his wife and daughters had died. Picking up Anne's slim diary, he turned back the pages to find a certain passage, and as he found it, her young confident voice was heard saying, "In spite of everything, I still believe that people are really good at art." This is the words of Anne Frank. She had got many cruelties from these German people. Not only she, the cruelties they were facing, these Jewish people from this German people, and but she was telling, in spite of everything, I still believe people are really good at art. So how nice person this Anne Frank was. Packed audiences received Anne Frank's tragedy in a silence heavy with remorse. That was happening in that theatre when the play was going. People, they were watching this drama with a heavy remorse. They were feeling shy, and in Dusseldorf, people did not even go out during the interval. In Dusseldorf, that place, people were not ready to go outside because they sat in their seats as if afraid of the lights outside, ashamed to face each other. See, people, they were feeling shame. What the cruelties they were doing, these Jewish. So they were afraid to see, they were ashamed to see our face to each other. Some reported. The Dusseldorf producer, Kuno Eppel, explained, Anne Frank has succeeded because it enables the audience to come to grips with history, personally and without denunciation. We watch it as an indictment in the most humble, pitiful terms of inhumanity to fellow men. No one accuses us as Germans, we accuse ourselves. And producer, he was telling, and Anne Frank, her diary succeeded, and she has given knowledge to people, or she has made the people of Germany to think about themselves, what they were doing. Germans do not accuse others, they accuse ourselves. One producer, he was telling. 4 years, Germany's post-war administrators toiled to make people feel the senseless and criminal nature of the Nazi regime. So, these administrators, that means the government, they tried to make the Germans to think and to stop these cruelties against these Jewish people. But they failed, they couldn't do anything. But after the publication of Anne Frank's diary, after the releasing of this play, what happened? On the whole, they failed. The diary of Anne Frank succeeded. Leading actors received dozens of letters. I was a good Nazi. One letter, it was written, I was a good Nazi. until the other night. Okay, so but others what they were doing I was not knowing. So I was a good Nazi. German school children sent Otto Frank letters signed by entire classes telling him that Anne's diary had opened their eyes to the viciousness of racial persecution. It's very important. Racial persecution. Okay. Actually, this racial persecution. The school children, they have wrote letters to Otto Frank. Anne Frank's diary opened their eyes about or against this viciousness. Viciousness. What is the meaning of viciousness? Viciousness means cruelties. What the cruelties they were doing against this people, Jewish people, and racial persecution. Racial, okay, on the base of this race, the people they were differentiated and okay, they were determined. Okay, they were thinking. This Germans they were thinking they are okay. They are very good people. They are highborn like that. They were telling and they were making racial persecution. Okay, they suppressed the Jewish people. In West Berlin, Anne Frank home was opened. In her name, one home was opened, devoted to social work for young people. The people of Berlin had chosen her name to symbolize the spirit of racial and social tolerance. Elsewhere in Germany, an organization was set up named after her to combat remaining vestiges of anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism means reactions against this poor Jewish people. In Vienna, money was collected for Anne Frank forest to be planted in Israel. In March 1957, a Hamburg student suggested that flowers should be laid on mass graves of Bergen-Belsen, where Anne Frank had found her last resting place. More than 2,000 young people eagerly answered this appeal. So in Hamburg, one student, he decided to put flowers in this Bergen-Belsen concentration camp where Anne Frank, she was taking her last place, okay, resting place. So they decided about 2,000 young children, they were ready, and what they were doing, hundreds of adults on bikes, 120 kilometers in lashing rains, standing in front of one of the mass graves. A 17-year-old schoolgirl expressed that Anne Frank was younger than we are when her life was so horribly ended. And she had to die because others had decided to destroy her race. Never again among our people must such a deceased and inhuman hatred arise. So they decided, we people, we should not do for anyone like this in our life. So actually young children, they were thinking, these rulers, they were tried, they were Nazi government, they were doing like this, but people, these small children, after getting the experiences of Anne Frank through her diary, the young children, they felt very bad because Anne Frank was younger than what they are now. And that time she had got experiences, bitter experiences in her life. And Anne's brief life is only a beginning. She carries the message of courage and tolerance all over the world. That is very important. She carried her through her life a message of courage and tolerance. She lives even after her death. So students, in the after this pages we can see some extracts from her diary that you have to read, page number 31. When we are reading it, what and all we will feel. Okay, let me read a few sentences. That's my life. The life of an innocent 11 years old schoolgirl. A schoolgirl without school, without fun and excitement, without games, without friends, without the sun, without the birds, without the nature, without fruit, without the chocolate or sweets, with just a little powdered milk. In school, a child without a childhood. In short, a child without a childhood. A wartime child. I now realize that I am really living through a war. I am witness an ugly, disgusting war. God, will this ever stop? Will I be ever schoolgirl again? And will I ever enjoy my childhood again? You read, students, this one. Each and every line, it will fill our ears. Okay. So much feelings when we are going through this, the words of this Anne Frank. We cannot read full. So you have to read page number 31. Some extract is given from her diary. You have to read it. Okay. So one school girl without school. One child without childhood. No friends, no funs, no excitements, no birds, no nature, nothing. Okay. In that dark rooms. About 1 year, okay, near and some months also she was spending in that derelict rooms. Okay, students, read once again. It's very interesting, not interesting, heart touching. Okay, when we are reading, it will feel so bad. So we have to read it, and a lot of annotations, questions also will come from 4-mark question, 3-mark questions, annotations. Yeah, you have to read well and learn well. Okay, students, bye. See you in the next